Mexico continues to rely heavily on fossil fuels for electricity, contributing to extremely elevated pollution levels and accelerating climate change impacts. Urban centers such as Mexico City experience poor air quality that impacts public health as well as the environment. National commitments include increasing the share of clean energy and achieving greenhouse gas emission reduction. An example could be updated targets that aim for about a 35% of unconditional cuts by 2030 relative to business. Renewable currently represent a modest portion of the generation mix, underscoring the need for scalable, low-carbon alternatives that leverage the country's abundant natural resources.
Offshore wind turbines capture stronger, more consistent winds over open water, where fewer surface obstacles allow smoother airflow and higher capacity factors compared to onshore installations. These systems are typically deployed 8 to 40 km from shore in water depths suitable for fixed bottom or emerging floating foundations. Modern turbines feature rotor diameters of 100 to 150 plus meters and individual capacities ranging from 3 to 15 plus MW, with larger models exceeding 20 MW in advanced deployments. Enables substantial electricity output without direct GHG emissions during operation.
Globally, offshore wind has scaled successfully in nations such as the United Kingdom, Denmark, Germany, and China, where favorable coastal conditions support large-scale development. In addition to clean power, this project can integrate with desalination technologies to produce fresh water, offering dual benefits in water-stressed coastal regions.
Nayarit's Pacific coastline provides suitable attributes for offshore wind development. Temperature differentials between land and ocean surfaces drive sea breezes, generating relatively consistent air movements, especially during daytime heating cycles. The statewide open shoreline minimizes terrain-induced turbulence, while exposure to Pacific trade wind influences supports steady airflow. Reported average wind speeds in coastal areas of Nayarit and Ribera Maya hover around 6 to 10 miles per hour. In many observations with seasonal peaks, these are generally lower than prime global offshore sites, but can still support viable generation when combined with larger rotors and hub heights.
The Mexican Pacific coast has a large potential for offshore wind energy, part of a national capacity estimated in the hundreds of gigawatts. While many of the best areas in the Gulf of Mexico and other parts of the Pacific, places like Nayarit could still help by generating clean energy. This energy could be added to the grid, reduce the use of fossil fuels, and work well with solar power, wind power, and produce energy at different times of day.
Offshore wind displays fossil fuel combustion like primarily natural gas and fuel oil in Mexico's power section, directly cutting CO2 and other GHG emissions per unit of electricity generated. Each megawatt hour from wind avoids emission equivalent to those from conventional thermal plants of 0.4 to 0.7 CO2/MWH or higher depending on the displayed mix. Scale development in Nayarit could contribute to national targets for clean energy expansion and GHG reduction.
While a single regional project would yield localized benefits, widespread adoption across suitable Mexican coastal zones could materially aid the country's transition. Given the vast technical potential, realizing even a fraction of this could multiply current renewable capacity and align with net zero pathways.
Mexico's offshore wind sector remains in very early stages. There's no large-scale operation farms to date. Progress is constrained by limited specialized infrastructure. An example of this could be installation vessels and ports evolving, regulatory frameworks, and the need for substantial capital. Recent studies highlight feasible zones under constraints like water depth, 60 meters for fixed bottom, and setbacks from shore. But Site-specific haven't been made yet. Offshore wind farms are very expensive to build, with very high upfront costs, unit of power, underwater noise affecting marine life, while foundations and cabling may alter habitats. So it's a very difficult permit to get, and it's very difficult to know where to put it and how to manage it. This requires a boat to access the turbines too, and it not to be dangerous. Although costs have gone down over time, they still depend on a lot of things like supply chains, interest rates, and how big the project is and how much money it is.
Environmental and social factors must be managed responsibly. Construction can generate underwater noise affecting marine life, while foundations and cabling may alter habitats. Careful planning, environmental impact assessments, and monitoring are essential to minimize biodiversity disruption. Community engagement and green integration will also determine project success. Offshore wind in Nayarit holds meaningful potential to advance Mexico's energy transition by providing emission-free electricity, supporting water security through hybridization, and contributing to national climate goals. Its impact on GHG reduction will scale with installed capacity, green integration, and the carbon intensity of displaced generation. However, realization depends on targeted investments in feasibility studies, policy clarity, technological adaptation, including potential floating platforms for deeper waters, and public-private collaborations. To maximize benefits, priorities should include detailed wind resource mapping for Nayarit's specific coastal segments, pilot projects demonstrating hybrid energy water systems, and alignment with Mexico's broader renewable and decarbonization strategies. With responsible development, these resources can play a constructive role in mitigating climate change while fostering sustainable economic opportunities in the region. Further technical, environmental, and economic analysis will refine the extent of its contribution.